We're here with Northern Trust Chief Economist Carl Tannenbaum. Carl, thanks for joining us.
Good to be with you.
So you had the opportunity to visit Japan this summer. What were your impressions?
Japan, which was once the world's biggest up-and-comer, has fallen on hard times. Their economy has endured a generation of almost no economic growth. Their stock markets are still at half the levels they were in 1990. They're having trouble getting out of a deflation, and they seem powerless to do anything about it. Now, this is a very important thing for the world economy. Japan remains the third largest market in the world, and Japanese firms represent about 10% of the weighted equity valuations in the world. So Japan's fate is our fate.
What are policymakers in Japan doing to try to turn around the cycle of deflation?
In short, they're pulling out all of the stops. The central bank has progressed from zero interest rates to negative interest rates to a lot of quantitative easing. They have purchased many more kinds of assets that central banks in other countries have, and the government has been expanding its budget substantially. And some think that there's almost a helicopter money arrangement going on where the government spends and the central bank buys the debt and promises never to redeem it.
Aside from monetary strategies, what else is Japan doing to try to lift its economy?
It should be pointed out that some of Japan's current malaise is secular and not cyclical. Their workforce population has declined all the way back to where it was in 1980. It's a country that's getting very old, has very low birth rates, and almost no immigration. They've tried to promote the participation of women in the labor force for longer, but that hasn't really worked out. Cultural norms make that very difficult for young ladies. In addition, they've encouraged some of the larger companies to pay their workers more. Those companies typically hoard most of the profits, but that also has been less than successful, and so the spending power on which the economy relies has not been that great.
Are there lessons for other countries here?
I think there are several important lessons from the Japanese experience that are instructive. First, Japan allowed a series of asset market excesses to build up in their halcyon days in both their stock and real estate markets, and when those crashed, it destroyed a lot of wealth and damaged the economy. It also damaged the nation's financial institutions, and the decision was made not to clean them up right away, but allow them to limp along. And so they've done and not extended much new credit, which could help the economy to grow. And then finally, it's very important to be aware of these secular factors on economic performance in Japan, given thought to its immigration policy or labor force participation. They might be in somewhat better shape than they are today.
Carl, thanks for joining us.
My pleasure.